Schmo with the pro, with the man who needs no introduction. He's the undisputed WWE Universal Champion of the world, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare in the flesh. Sin City, how we doing?
We are doing outstanding, and today we're talking about selling tickets for WrestleMania 41, Allegiant Stadium. Just went to the stadium, blown away. Y'all blessed out here in Vegas. That is something damn special. Wrestling fans are going to get an absolute treat with that experience for sure.
Blown away. Tickets go on sale this Friday. It's going to be April 19th and 20th. A two-day spectacle, man. You got that championship at WrestleMania 40, defeating Roman Reigns. He had a pretty long title run. How are you going to top that at WrestleMania 41?
I mean, that's the question every year with WrestleMania because it's always intent is to top the year prior. WrestleMania is a Super Bowl. What we do, it's the beginning and the end of our calendar year as WWE. It's the start, it's the beginning, it's all those things. WrestleMania 40, we finished the story. Now going into WrestleMania 41, we have to top it. Here's what I'd say. Without giving anything away, I think what happens at WrestleMania 41 won't match up with a lot of the rumors you see out there. I think it'll be more unexpected and 100% unequivocally, got it, will top WrestleMania 40.
Well, enough time is settled. The dust is settled. You've had that championship now for a pretty hefty long amount of time. Yeah. When you reflect on the Schmoment, what are you most proud of with holding that strap?
Well, the biggest thing is after WrestleMania, you wonder, am I worthy of holding this strap? Am I going to be able to carry the company or be the quarterback of the company, as they say? And right out of the gate, leaving WrestleMania 40, we went to Lyon, France. We did Backlash. We had a record arena gate. We've since had more record arena gates. And just from that metric, you got to feel good. It's kind of like that job assurance. Like, okay, we're doing good as a team. I'm doing good as a champion. There was no dip this year after WrestleMania. It's really only been going onwards and upwards, and having it in Vegas again as big as it possibly can be.
Well, you're always on the grind. The job never stops. You got to get over to Saudi Arabia, the inaugural Crown Jewel Championship. You're facing Gunther. You got to put that on the line. What can fans expect out of you then?
Well, so this one, thankfully, at Crown Jewel, this one's not on the line. Gosh, but going for that first Crown Jewel Championship, which I don't know if fans who've been watching Raw or SmackDown seen just how beautiful and one of the cooler titles that's ever been designed. But Gunther is the man, dude. I can't stand here and say anything negative about Gunther. He'll have many schmoments ahead of him for sure. That's somebody you should absolutely interview. If anything, on paper, it doesn't look like a match that's good for me, but I don't always believe in what's on paper. I think I have what it takes to get to the finish line there and leave Crown Jewel, because once we leave Crown Jewel, not only will there be a definitive Crown Jewel champion, we're in Mania season. We're in it. Eyes are on the Royal Rumble, and then from the Royal Rumble, the road to Mania is clear. So got to be on our game, otherwise I will slip. There will be no title with me. It would just be the worst. So I'm on my game.
You brought up schmoments. Your biggest schmoment to date, it was called by Samantha Irvin. She's leaving the company.
No.
What's your reaction?
What a wonderful, I feel like time will tell, it's always in our business, 5 or 10 years after somebody's gone, you hear about how wonderful and how amazing. She is top 5, maybe top 3. Samantha was just killing it. And I know her and WWE, they left on good terms, so that's amazing because the door is open in case she ever wants to come back. I've never watched WrestleMania 40 back, but I can hear it still in terms of her very emotional announcement of winning the WWE Championship, and that's going to be forever linked to me. So hats off to Samantha. That is one of my homies, and for sure hope to see her down the road. But whatever she does, if you've heard her voice, she's going to kill it. And Lillian Garcia stepping back in. Lillian, beloved by WWE fans for so many years. Perfect person to kind of take the baton and carry it for us.
Well, you were just in Manchester. You brought Tom Aspinall, the UFC Interim Heavyweight Champion, in the ring. What was it like being with Big Tom in the wrestling ring?
I love the fact that he was a wrestling fan himself. When you sit backstage and you meet everybody and you're talking about, okay, we might go out and we might do this. You never know if they get in that ring and they're just going to go ham. And the last thing on earth you would want is the interim UFC heavyweight champion to decide to go ham on what you're doing in the ring. So I was very excited that he was just happy to be there, wanted to climb up the ropes, see all the people, and it was really cool from a TKO perspective, being the parent company with the UFC and WWE, to get that photo with myself, with Tom, and with my opponent at Crown Jewel with Gunther all in there. Just a special moment, or schmoment.
There we go. But what kind of professional wrestler do you think Tom Aspinall can be if he eventually hangs up, those gloves and wants to get in the wrestling world?
He's what we'd call meat and potatoes. Meat and potatoes is a lot of slugging it out, a lot of big forearms to the back, a lot of chops, not leaving your feet much. When you're as big as he is and you're as athletic as he is, he's really going to fill that big man spot for pro wrestling. So if he was to step in at any point, it would fit like a glove.
Well, a lot of UFC fans have been chomping at the bit to see him face a guy like Jon Jones. If they hypothetically ever had a fight, how do you see that thing playing out?
Well, it's tricky because you never want to bet against Jon Jones. Very tricky. However, I'm a loyalty guy. And even if my loyalty is based on a 5-minute interaction, Tom was so good to WWE. Came in and it was a really good representative of UFC, and it was we try very much, even though TKO being there for both of us, we don't always cross the streams. And when we do, I want it to be like it was. Really respectful, really professional. We admire what UFC does, him admiring what WWE does. So I got to pull for Tom. I'm going for Tom in that setting. Tom's up.
Yeah. Well, wrestling runs in the family. What was it like getting gold dust in your eyes growing up in this business?
I think I was 14 years old when gold dust was really hitting his stride on WWE television, and I can certainly say it was a unique thing to see. My friends had a lot of feelings about what gold dust was doing. However, knowing how much he had subverted expectations, knowing how much he didn't just want to be a Rhodes, he wanted to be his own thing, and what he did and the lengths he went to do it, I was very proud of Dustin throughout that whole run. Goldust is an underrated part of the Attitude Era, certainly somebody I think worthy of the Hall of Fame.
Well, you've been doing this professionally since 2007. That's when you made your debut. You've been doing a long time with this stuff. You've had a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries, but mentally, what do you think's been the biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome so far?
Mentally, I feel the biggest thing is you're really only as good as your last match. And every week we're doing this. There's Monday Night Raw, there's Friday Night SmackDown. So you really, when you hit those highs, you can't be in that high for so long. And when you hit a low, you can't be in a low for that long. For me, fans try to box certain wrestlers in. Hey, this guy's bottom of the card. This guy's an enhancement guy. This guy's mid-card. This guy's main event right away. Really, if you're passionate about this and you love this, that's why I loved Eddie Guerrero and Shawn Michaels growing up. We watched the climb. For me, if you're passionate about this, you're going to find the cheese. If you're in the maze, you're going to find the cheese. And that's just the biggest thing, is not to ever let yourself be boxed in. Where you start is not always where you end.
Someone you know well, Logan Paul, he's in the business. His brother's got a big boxing match coming up November 15th, Jerry Stadium. He's facing Mike Tyson. That's Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. How do you see that one playing out?
That's a tricky one. I mean, I think everyone, when it comes to a Mike Tyson fight, even today, want to see this big legendary Mike Tyson knockout. But Logan Paul and Jake Paul have a wonderful gym, Problem Child Gym down there in Puerto Rico, where I once got to visit, and I was blown away by, they have every modern training thing you could possibly think of, surrounded by the best professionals. And I know you see them in all these social and these influence videos and all this different content creation. They have such an arrogance and such a bravado, but if you've ever met either of the Pauls, they seem to be the most disciplined guys in the room. So as much as I love Mike Tyson, I think that's Jake Paul all the way.
You think it goes to a decision, or you think he puts him down on the canvas?
I'm going to say decision. I think all fans are blood hungry for someone to fall down, but I feel like in these exhibition type fights, I say on the canvas.
So you've been to the compound over in Puerto Rico. How does it compare to the Performance Center over there in Orlando?
I mean this, nothing compares to the Performance Center in Orlando. The Performance Center is just unbelievable, and with all the NIL athletes, all the amazing work that they're doing, you've got Baldo and Shawn Michaels. That's the other thing. I think people, it's just almost underscored, and it shouldn't be. Shawn Michaels, Hall of Famer, the Heartbreak Kid, WrestleMania main eventer, is teaching the next generation of pro wrestlers and superstars. So all of us who are on the main roster kind of have to be ready for when one of these monsters shows up, because they're teaching them right.
Sounds like some sweet chin music, but of all the great superstars that have come in the wrestling ring at WWE, is the biggest superstar in WWE, who do you think is one athlete that you'd love to see make that crossover that hasn't done it to date?
Make what crossover?
The crossover into the WWE ring, that make the appearance that hasn't done it yet.
From NXT?
from any of their own professional sports. It could be the NBA, could be the NFL, could be tennis, could be anything.
I don't know how tennis would be. You know what? They probably do just great. I'll say that one that I'd love to see just dip his toes in the water with WWE would be Conor. We were talking about proper 12 whiskey, Conor McGregor, just to dip his toes, because the competition environment at WWE, the competition is different than what you might think. It's so much about who has the most discipline, who's the most professional, getting there to the finish line, getting there to a WrestleMania. And I feel like someone who's competed at the highest level like he has in so many amazing fights, I think it's just time to maybe dip into the more entertainment side of sports entertainment. I think he would be great at it. I do.
Do you have a Conor McGregor impression?
No, God, no. I don't. Do you have a Conor McGregor impression?
Yeah, we do his walk.
Well, hit me with it. Say it's fairly good. I give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10, man. 10 out of 10. Yeah,
that.
thank you.
We appreciate that. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of greatest UFC fighters of all time?
Oh man, this is a tough one because I don't watch UFC enough. So, gosh, we're gonna put Conor because Conor brings. Again, I'm gonna go just off the metric of we're talking the whole world is watching.
Absolutely, eyeballs.
Eyeballs. We're going off the eyeballs metric. So we're gonna go with Conor. We're gonna go with Ronda. She's doing Pantene Pro V commercials. The next thing you know, she's getting into a fight. Amazing. So we've got those two. Then I have to kick back to the infancy of modern UFC with everything that Dana did. I can't pick Chuck or Tito. I can only pick one, right? I'm gonna pick Chuck. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Chuck just because how those series of fights. And then I was loyal, and I said Tom would take the fight, but I'm gonna go Jon Jones actually as well. That's my Mount Rushmore. That's it. Yep. Yeah. Tom still wins the fight though, but that's my Mount Rushmore.
We love to hear it. So you don't have a Conor McGregor impression, but any old school wrestlers that you'd love to impersonate before you made that debut, before you made yourself a household name in this sport?
Yeah, I never really impersonated a lot of people growing up. I do things in the ring that are specific. Don't realize they're impersonations. And so if you look at like the Royal Rumble in San Antonio, the first Royal Rumble I won, I did this full, the only way to do it is stand up.
The Schmo will hold the belt.
Schmo hold the belt.
Yeah, we'll hold the belt.
I did this full kind of circling type thing, and I realized as I was doing it, it's Macho. It's the Macho Man. I'm on my toes, and this whole moment, it was all Macho all the time. I had no reason to be turning that way, but I thought, that's Macho Man. It's in our bones,
The cream always rises to the top.
Look how good this thing's with Schmo. You look great. You're champ.
Appreciate that.
Do the rest of the media rounds,
Yeah, we got to do it.
Do it. I think you'll sell the tickets.
Let's do it. That's right. They go on sale this Friday. You don't want to miss it. April 19th and April 20th. WrestleMania 41. Final message for all the Cody Rhodes fans out there worldwide.
The hardest thing in all of what we do, as you see, is not always winning the WWE Championship. That's maybe the second hardest thing. The hardest thing in all of WWE is main eventing WrestleMania. Last year's main event to WrestleMania was the best moment in WrestleMania history. For me, the biggest personal highlight of my life. Heading into WrestleMania 41, I can guarantee you here with the Schmo, it's going to top even that.
He's the pro, I'm the Schmo, the American Nightmare in the flesh, Sin City, Las Vegas. We're out.
That's classy. Class? That's classy, yeah.